Hello everyone. So the topic of this video is symbol and symbolism. So first I'm going to show you how to put your handouts in your notebook. Then I'm going to give you the notes and then I will guide you through an activity to help solidify the idea of what symbol and symbolism is. So first let's get these handouts in our notebook. So you should have the two little foldables for symbol and symbolism, and then you should have this handout that says object symbolism chart. Now I'm going to put these onto an orange sheet of construction paper just so you can see how it works. You would put these in your notebook. Okay, so the first we're going to take these two foldables and you're going to cut out the perimeter of each. Okay, so you would just start with the symbol. You would cut it out so you have this. Okay, and you would do the same for symbolism as well. So you have, sorry, that was upside down, the two. Okay. Then whatever you have at home, I'm going to use a glue stick, but you could use tape, you could use liquid glue. You're going to put it on the, if you flip this over, just on the top part. So it would be the back of this white square here. Okay, so we're actually going to start with the symbol one. So if you flip it over and put glue on the back, you can see how I put it on the back. And you're going to put it at the top right of your paper, okay, on your notebook. Okay? And you'll do the same with symbolism and you'll put it next to it. So yours should look like this. And again, we do this so that you can fold these up. So now that we have those in our notebook, we're going to take our objects and symbolism chart, and you're just going to cut the perimeter of the chart. Don't worry about this part up here. We're going to get rid of that. Okay? So you're just cutting out the perimeter of the chart. So you should have something that looks like this. And then on the back of this, you're just going to put glue or tape all over it. And you're going to put it right underneath those two foldables. So your notebook page should look like this. So now moving on to the notes section. You're going to write your notes underneath each of the foldables. So for symbolism, you're going to write it in the space here, or excuse me, write it there. And for symbolism, you will write it here. And so these are the notes I want you to write underneath your foldable. So underneath symbol, you're going to write an object that stands for or represents something else. An example of that is a crown. That's usually a symbol for royalty or authority. And then underneath the symbolism foldable, you're going to write the use of symbols to emphasize certain elements within a text that adds meaning. So an example of that is, for those of you that have read Harry Potter, the serpent, which is the mascot or symbol for Slytherin house, shows that how the people from that house, like Voldemort or Professor Snape or Draco Malfoy, they're usually bad people. And we know that because the serpent is a symbol for evil or for the devil. It's a typo there. So now that we have an idea of what a symbol is and what symbolism is, we want to look at some examples of symbolism. So here on your chart here, we have a series of symbols. We have fire, the sun, a tree, a cross, a diamond, a skull, an hourglass, a light bulb, and an owl. So in the spaces here underneath symbolic meaning, I want you to write what these symbols could symbolize or what they mean. So for example, what could a fire be used to symbolize, or what could a cross symbolize. So I want you to take a few minutes, pause the video, jot down some ideas, and then we're going to look at some examples or some things that I have that I would like you to include in your notes as well. Okay, so pause the video, take a moment, work on this activity. So here are some sample symbolic meanings. So just again, if you didn't write these down, that doesn't necessarily mean that what you wrote was wrong, but I'd like you to include these as well. So for example, a fire could symbolize warmth, comfort, passion, destruction, okay, depending on how it's used. The sun, brightness, happiness. It could be a new beginning, like a new day. Light, the tree, wisdom, old age, the cycle of life, changing seasons, nature. So just make sure you go through all of these and make sure you have these meanings copied down in your notebook. So just to review, you should have your completed entry in your notebook. You should have the definition for symbol and symbolism in your notebook. And you should also, on the object symbolism chart, you should have the symbolic meanings for each of these symbols. In class tomorrow, we are going to do an activity that further looks at the idea of symbol and symbolism and its use in a text.